Congresswoman Elise Stefanik has unexpectedly dropped out of the race for New York governor, explaining her decision on X. While spending precious time with my family this Christmas season, I have made the decision to suspend my campaign for governor and will not seek re-election to Congress. I did not come to this decision lightly for our family. Stefanik had previously been the GOP conference chair. She was then nominated to be UN ambassador, and when her nomination was pulled, she looked at the New York governor race. Now it seems, for the time being at least, she's bowing out of politics.
Washington is in an absolute tailspin today, and if you listen closely, you can hear the sound of Republican donor checks being shredded from Wall Street to Mar-a-Lago. Elise Stefanik, the woman who rose from a moderate backbencher to the undisputed MAGA powerhouse of the House, hasn't just stepped back. She's walked off the playing field entirely. No more bid for New York governor, no re-election to the House. She's outdone, gone. The political world is stunned, and frankly, they should be. This isn't just a retirement. It's a vacuum seal crisis for the GOP leadership. We're talking about the woman who was supposed to be the steel magnolia of the 2026 midterms. Now, the donor class is scrambling. The grassroots are asking, who's next? And the rumor mill is spinning so fast, it's about to catch fire. Before we dive into the why and the secret meetings that led to this, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. We are tracking the 2026 shakeup in real time, and you don't want to miss the deep dives we have coming up. Done? Good. Let's get into it. The official story. Stefanik says it's about family and her young son's safety and growth. She says a protracted primary in New York against Bruce Blakeman isn't an effective use of time. But let's be real. Since when does a political shark like Stefanik back down from a fight because it's unnecessary? The facts show she was leading the primary polls. The facts show she had the NYGOP endorsement in her pocket. So, does a powerhouse just walk away because the water got a little choppy? Or is there a much bigger, much more powerful seat waiting for her in the Trump administration that doesn't require a single vote from the public? To understand why this exit is such a massive blow, you have to look at what Elise Stefanik represented. She wasn't just a congresswoman. She was the bridge between the old-school GOP establishment and the MAGA movement. When she replaced Liz Cheney as conference chair, it was a total symbolic takeover. She became the voice of the party, the one who grilled university presidents on live TV, turned herself into a household name. But lately, the cracks were showing. Everyone remembers the UN ambassador drama. Trump taps her for the job, the MAGA world celebrates, and then the rug gets pulled. Why? Because the House majority was so razor-thin that the GOP couldn't afford to lose her seat for even a month. Think about that for a second. She was literally too important to promote, which is just a polite way of saying she was trapped. Then came the war with the speaker. Stefanik didn't just disagree with Mike Johnson. She went on a scorched earth media tour. She called him a political novice to the Wall Street Journal. She basically said he wouldn't be speaker today if there were a fresh vote. You don't say those things if you're planning on playing nice in the sandbox for another term. And then there's the Trump factor. While Stefanik was out there swinging for the fences, her primary rival, Bruce Blakeman, was playing a different game. He wasn't running ads in New York, he was running them in West Palm Beach. He was talking directly to the audience at Mar-a-Lago, while Elise was fighting in the trenches of D.C. Blakeman was whispering in the ear of the kingmaker. The official narrative is that she's choosing her family over a bruising primary. But ask yourself, is Elise Stefanik the type of person to let Bruce Blakeman, a county executive, bully her out of a race she was winning? Or did she realize that in the new GOP, if you don't have the total and complete endorsement of the top of the ticket, you're just a target? She saw the writing on the wall. She saw a primary that would drain her coffers and the governor's race against Kathy Hochul that the polls said was a 9-point uphill climb. She decided to stop being a legislative soldier and started looking for a commander role. Make no mistake, Elise Stefanik was the GOP's ATM. She wasn't just a vote. She was a fundraising machine that kept the lights on for candidates across the country. And right now, Republican donors are in a full-blown panic. I'm hearing from sources that the phones are ringing off the hook at the NRCC. They're asking the same question. Who fills the void? You see, Stefanik had a unique talent for talking to the billionaire class in Manhattan while still sounding like a firebrand. To the base in Ohio, that is a rare gift, and you don't just replace it overnight. Without her at the helm of the conference messaging, the GOP is looking at a massive cash shortfall right as we head into the 2026 midterms. And you better believe the Democrats are popping champagne. Hakeem Jeffries, the man who wants to be speaker more than anything in the world, has been taking victory laps. He's out there calling her a sycophant and saying her exit is a lesson in what happens when You tie your entire career to one man. But here's the reality. Jeffries isn't just happy she's gone, he's relieved. Stefanik was the one person who knew how to counter his narrative in New York. With her out of the picture, the path for Democrats to reclaim House seats in the Empire State just got a whole lot wider. The Stefanik effect was real. She pulled the entire NY-GOP to the right and made them competitive. Now, the Democrats think the blue wave in New York is back on the menu. Now, let's talk about the theory that's setting the internet on fire. Is she being pushed out, or is she moving up? There are two camps here. The first camp is terrified. They see the withdrawal of her UN nomination earlier this year as a sign that she lost favor with the inner circle. They think she was told, step aside, or be pushed. They point to her public spats with Speaker Mike Johnson as proof that she was becoming more of a liability than an asset in a divided Congress. But then there's the second camp, and this is where it gets interesting. This camp believes she is being cleared for a shadow cabinet role. Think about it. If you're Donald Trump, do you want your most effective communicator stuck in a House of Representatives that can't pass a lunch order, or do you want her in a powerful, unelected role? Maybe chief of staff, maybe a newly created board with real teeth. Where she doesn't have to worry about re-election or fundraising. The facts show she had a productive discussion with Trump just days before this announcement. You don't walk away from a safe seat in a governor's race unless you have something better waiting in the wings. She's trading a vote for a voice. She's trading the swamp of the House for the command center of the next administration. But here's the catch. If she doesn't land a massive role within the next 90 days, the pushed-out theorists win. If she disappears into a private equity firm or a news contributorship, it means the MAGA powerhouse was dismantled from the inside. We are watching a high-stakes game of political poker, and Elise Stefanik just shoved all her chips into the middle of the table. So, what is the real takeaway here? The Stefanik shocker tells us two things. First, the House GOP is in a state of total flux. Losing your top fundraiser and your sharpest communicator in the same week is a recipe for a 2026 disaster unless someone like Lisa McLaren or Kat Kamak can step up and fill those very large shoes immediately. Second, it shows that the New York GOP experiment might be over. Without a powerhouse like Stefanik leading the charge, the Republican footprint in New York could shrink back to the sidelines, giving Hakeem Jeffries exactly what he needs to secure the gavel. Whether she's heading for a seat in the West Wing or a quiet life in upstate New York, the era of Elise Stefanik in Congress is over, and the fallout is only just beginning. What do you think? Is she being sidelined by the establishment, or is she prepping for a massive promotion in the Trump administration? Drop a comment below. I want to see your theories. And if you want to know more about the internal war between Stefanik and Speaker Johnson, check out our last video right here. Stay bold, stay informed. I'll see you on the next one.